Hi guys, today we're going to talk about shifting the focus from calorie counting to hormone management. It's a bit of a shift and it's a bit of adaptation, but I think that you're going to get it. So stay tuned, we're going to talk about hormones today. So the first topic is talking about calories in, calories out. And so the most commonly accepted message right now is that calorie deficit, so if you burn more than what you eat, you're going to lose weight. And that the opposite is equally true. If you eat more or you intake more calories than you burn, you're going to gain weight. Well, so the science is not that clear-cut about that, and there's just too many variables for us to control. There's environmental factors, there's the time of the day, there's your own metabolism, your capacity to absorb some of the calories that you're eating, the type of calories that are needed for you to sustain yourself throughout the day. It just gets too complicated. So instead of focusing on that, especially trying to calculate, am I okay, am I in, am I out, it gets frustrating and it doesn't always work for you or just pretty much everybody else. So instead of focusing on that, let's shift the focus towards more a hormone management mindset. And I'll talk to you about this in 2 seconds. So a hormone regulating mindset is just a simple way for you to teach you how to eat what the body needs at the time that it needs it, instead of just counting and eating at pre-programmed times. So by thinking that way, you give the body what it needs at the time that it needs, you reduce your cravings and your frustrations and your slumps, and you maintain that energy level throughout the day. I think we've talked about this in a previous video, but I'm going to expand on that. So to keep everything simple, I'm going to talk to you about hormones in pairs. When one of hormones goes up, the other one goes down, and vice versa. The idea is to keep everything balanced to help you really keep everything easy when it comes to food intake. So the first pair of hormones I'm going to be talking about are both secreted in the pancreas. So the first one is insulin, which is the fat storage hormone, and then the other one is glucagon, which is the fat burning hormone. So when I say fat here, I refer to it as excess energy. So first off, let's just talk a bit about insulin. Insulin is essential because it basically takes the sugar that you eat, the carbs, right, and it shuttles them via the blood to wherever it is needed at that time. And if it's not needed, well, the body just simply stores it in muscles, liver, and fat. So if you eat too much carbs and the body doesn't need it, insulin doesn't work all that well, and it creates an insulin spike where it has to transport all that excess energy, but it can't use it. And so it goes immediately to fat. Not great. So in other words, try to limit the amount of carbs when you actually don't need it. Eat carbs before exercise. The other side of it, or the opposite of the pair, is glucagon. Glucagon is basically secreted as soon as the body needs that energy. It's craving it. So as soon as blood glucose are low, glucagon is secreted, and it basically releases all that extra energy via in the muscle, in the liver, or in the fat storage. So it's important for you to understand the dynamic between the two. So don't overeat carbs so that you make sure that you're not storing too much fat. And in the glucagon, you need to make sure that it's activated at the right time. Good? Perfect. On to the next pair. So the second pair of hormone I wanted to talk to you about, leptin, which is secreted in fat, and ghrelin, which is secreted in the stomach. So they both have a very opposite effect. The first one, leptin, controls satiety, and so you want to make sure that if you can control satiety or feel full much faster, you need to keep your leptin levels super high. So what that means is if you focus on eating whole foods, you're going to basically become full faster instead of eating processed foods that are going to delay that satiety or the secretion of leptin, which means that you might eat more than you should if you eat too much processed food. And then ghrelin is your hunger hormones secreted in like I said, in the stomach. And so if you manage to delay the stomach emptying by eating soluble fiber, protein, fat, and all that stuff, you're going to be feeling less hungry or full much faster, or at least less hungry. So the idea is, between the two, keep leptin levels high and ghrelin level low. So if you fast, intermittent fasting, or if you eat processed foods, any one of the two, what's going to happen is that you're going to have very low level of leptin and very high level of ghrelin, which means, well, you're going to eat too much, you're going to have cravings, and you won't know when to stop. So that's the goal here of this whole video, is to make sure that you just understand that instead of counting calories, focus on just understanding these two basic pairs of hormones to help you at least get the most out of your food intake. Less calorie counting and more hormone management. If you have any questions, like usual, get in touch. Take care.